If you've been struggling with diabetes or with those sugar spikes that leave you tired and worried, today I want to help you understand a simple and natural solution that you can start using right from your kitchen. I'm going to show you how a common food, used for years in different countries, can improve your glucose levels even more than the famous apple cider vinegar. This is the natural half-cup trick that can become a powerful ally for your daily health. I'm Dr. Gabriel Mina, and today I want to walk alongside you on this journey. Not long ago, a patient named Teresa came to my office feeling frustrated because her sugar would rise even when she ate very little. She tried several adjustments and medications, but she noticed real change when she added the food I'm going to share with you today. Her experience reminded me that sometimes the most effective solutions aren't found at the pharmacy, but right in your own kitchen. Welcome to your channel Wellness at My Age, where we talk about holistic health, longevity, and natural and very simple habits that help you maintain your physical, emotional, and mental balance. So take notes and share this with your family and friends to help them improve their blood sugar levels. This food surpasses vinegar in many ways, and that alone says a lot because vinegar is known for its benefits on glucose. But what you'll discover today will help you understand why half a cup a day can make such a surprising difference. And here's something important. We're not talking about supplements or expensive products. This is an affordable, simple cereal with an incredible impact on blood sugar control, intestinal movement, and gut health. Sometimes you'll even find it sold where bird food is sold because it's related to canary seed. In many countries, it's known as millet. Here we call it mijo, and even though it looks like a small grain with no special importance, it contains one of the highest amounts of resistant starch among cereals. This is key for diabetes because resistant starch helps carbohydrates absorb more slowly, preventing those spikes that strain the pancreas. Millet is a gluten-free cereal, similar to rice or quinoa in the way it's cooked. Sometimes it's confused with birdseed, but they're not the same. Millet is safe for human consumption and highly nutritious. When you eat millet, a large portion of its starch reaches the large intestine intact, where it becomes food for your microbiota, the good bacteria that help regulate your sugar, your digestion, and even your energy. In addition, the protein in millet creates a kind of natural barrier that slows digestion, allowing glucose to enter the bloodstream gradually. That's why many people feel more satisfied, have better intestinal movement, and experience more stable sugar levels. Why is it so highly recommended? Millet is a great ally for those who want to take care of their health, especially if they have diabetes or high blood sugar because it helps maintain more stable glucose, high cholesterol, fatty liver, high blood pressure, slow digestion or mild digestive discomfort. It also has qualities that make it even more special. It is very rich in fiber, ideal for improving digestion. It is gluten-free, so it is gentle on the stomach. It provides magnesium, iron, and phosphorus, essential minerals for daily wellness. How do you cook it? Very easily. You can prepare it the same way you cook rice. 1 part millet to 2 parts water. Cook for 30 to 40 minutes until soft. And the best part, it is incredibly versatile. You can use it as a rice replacement, in soups, salads, bowls, or as a side dish for your daily meals. Where can you buy it? You can usually find it in health food stores, whole food markets, seed shops, sometimes sold near canary seed. If you buy it there, wash it very well to make it safe for human consumption. It is also available online, including Amazon. In countries like India, where this cereal is consumed frequently, studies show lower glucose levels after meals when millet replaces rice or wheat. If you decide to try it, keep an eye on your sugar values, because the reduction can be as noticeable as that produced by vinegar. If you use both together, the effect is even greater. Before continuing, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, share this video, and activate the bell. Here on Wellness at My Age, we upload new content every day to help you live with more health and peace of mind, and I'm sure this information can be useful to someone you know. Let's continue, because what comes next will help you understand why this half cup can become such a powerful support for controlling diabetes. If you're looking for a natural way to control your sugar without feeling that everything upsets your stomach or that every meal raises your glucose, I want you to understand why millet can help you so much. Many patients ask me where to get it, and I tell them that I've even found it in stores that sell birdseed. It's a simple, inexpensive, and very accessible food. One of the most frequent questions I get is whether people with acid reflux can eat it, and the answer is yes. Many of my patients who try it feel digestive relief, similar to what happens when we use apple cider vinegar in some cases. And for those who ask directly whether millet helps with diabetes, I want to be clear. Yes, it works, and it works in a very special way. When we eat porridge or foods made from rice or corn, insulin rises quickly. Millet, on the other hand, makes the pancreas produce far less insulin while still allowing glucose to enter the cells properly. If you take half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of millet a day for a few weeks, it's common to see real improvements in glucose. Patients with prediabetes have returned to normal levels just by adding it consistently. Its preparation is similar to quinoa, but if you want more ideas, there are many recipes available. What truly matters is what happens inside the body. Millet lowers blood sugar, helps insulin work better, and reduces insulin resistance. It's so effective that in people with polycystic ovary syndrome, who often have high resistance, I've seen significant improvements when they include it as part of their meals. To help you understand how it works, imagine glucose entering slowly, without overwhelming the pancreas. When the pancreas notices that only a small amount is arriving, it releases only the necessary insulin without creating excess. This prevents extra glucose from being stored as fat in the liver or muscles, something that happens when we consume processed foods or hidden sugars without realizing it. Many people tell me they don't eat sugar because they use stevia, but they still consume processed products loaded with hidden sugars. When the liver receives more sugar than it can process, it creates fat and insulin resistance begins. That's why even fruit can make you feel unwell once too much fat has accumulated in the organs. The problem isn't the fruit, it's the previous overload. Millet helps reverse that cycle. In studies where participants consumed nearly half a cup daily, prediabetic individuals stopped being prediabetic within weeks. By 12 weeks, their levels were normal. And this is something I've also seen in my practice. Not long ago, I treated a man who had been struggling with high glucose for months despite taking metformin. When he began adding millet consistently, his numbers stabilized and his energy improved. People also ask whether those with high blood pressure can consume it. And yes, they absolutely can. For many people it's a new food, but once they hold it in their hands, they see it's a small cereal similar to quinoa. Its resistant starch content is one of the highest, and when you cook and cool it, that content increases even more. This makes it release energy slowly and prevents sugar spikes. If you have irritable bowel syndrome, millet can also help. It provides fiber that increases stool volume and improves movement through the colon. This supports digestion without causing irritation, something few supplements can achieve. And it's here where I always say that God was wise in giving us foods that care for several functions at once. Lowering glucose, protecting the pancreas, improving digestion, and stabilizing energy. Even those with problems such as Helicobacter pylori or biliary sludge can consume it without issue. And for those with thyroid conditions, it is also safe. What matters most is preparing it correctly and including it consistently. We're moving forward, because later I'll explain a combination that enhances the benefits of millet even more. But for now, I want you to keep this idea. This small cereal can become a powerful tool to regulate your sugar without complications. For years I have treated many people who struggle with high blood sugar and diabetes, and they always ask me whether there's a simple food that truly helps stabilize glucose. That's why today we continue exploring an ingredient that has shown surprising results. Millet. Many people know it as bird food, but it is actually a powerful, nutritious cereal that is extremely easy to prepare. I'm trying it myself, and I've noticed interesting changes both in my patients and in my own health. Not long ago, I treated a patient named Elena, a 67-year-old woman with type 2 diabetes. She was looking for something natural to complement her treatment, and when I told her about millet, she decided to try it. Within just a few weeks, she noticed her fasting sugar went down and her digestion improved significantly. That kind of experience confirms how valuable this food can be when we use it consistently. I want to explain why millet has caught the attention of the scientific community. There is a very serious study published in Research in Science and Technology, conducted in 300 people with type 2 diabetes over almost 3 months. The results were extraordinary. Those who consumed millet reduced their glycated hemoglobin by around 20%. To give you an idea, that is comparable to what some medications achieve. They also lowered their fasting glucose, total cholesterol, and triglycerides. All of this with half a cup a day of a natural cereal. Preparing it is very simple. You can cook it just like rice, quinoa, or amaranth. Include it in your breakfast, soups, or as a side dish at lunch. I recommend cooking it the night before so it forms resistant starch, which further improves its benefits. And if you enjoy combining flavors, you can mix it with fruits or mild spices. The important thing is to consume it as part of your daily meals, not as if it were a medication. Many people ask whether those with high blood pressure can eat it. Of course they can. Millet is a safe, natural food with no known contraindications. The only thing you should remember is to accompany it with enough water to improve digestion and avoid constipation. In Ecuador, Colombia, and other countries in the region, we are used to eating rice daily. Well, replacing rice with millet is a simple change that can transform metabolic health. Something that deeply caught my attention about this study is that it even improved markers like bad cholesterol, triglycerides, and insulin levels. This leads me to a question I have asked myself for years. Why do so many health professionals not start by recommending dietary changes before prescribing insulin or metformin? Diet should always be the first step. Another frequent question is whether millet helps in cases of polycystic ovary syndrome. The answer is yes. This condition is closely related to insulin resistance. When the body produces too much insulin, it also affects the ovaries, causing hormonal imbalances. If we stabilize glucose, the body responds much better. That is why millet can become a great ally. I also want to answer a question I receive often. Is it useful for those with anemia or low iron levels? It can be consumed without any issue, although it is always important to investigate the cause of the anemia. Millet provides fiber and plant protein and is part of a healthy eating pattern. If you want to enhance its benefits, combine it with legumes such as beans, lentils, or chickpeas. This mix of cereal plus legume forms a complete plant protein, ideal for improving energy, controlling glucose, and increasing satiety. A touch of cilantro, cumin, or black pepper enhances the flavors without needing processed products. What matters is that you see millet as an everyday food, something that belongs on your table, not as something strange or complicated. It is affordable, simple, and according to evidence, it offers real results for those seeking to control diabetes and high sugar naturally. When we talk about managing diabetes and high blood sugar, many people look for something practical they can apply today without complications. That is why we continue exploring millet and how this cereal can truly help stabilize your glucose levels. I have seen in my practice that those who begin including it notice improvements within weeks. Recently, I attended Don Ramiro, a 72-year-old man whose blood sugar had been very high. He began replacing rice with millet, and his fasting glucose dropped without needing additional medication. Results like these confirm how valuable this food is. A simple way to boost its benefits is by combining it with natural spices like cinnamon or turmeric. Turmeric works best when combined with black pepper. These are affordable, easy-to-find ingredients that act like a real kitchen pharmacy. I always recommend letting your endocrinologist know when you start including these changes, because they may help so much that your glucose can drop faster than expected. There is also a mix of 5 spices that, combined with millet, has shown glucose and cholesterol-lowering effects. All of this reinforces what we have been saying. This cereal has enormous potential to support diabetes treatment naturally. Many people still do not know it. Millet is a pearl-shaped cereal, similar to quinoa or amaranth, and it cooks exactly the same. It needs about 30 to 40 minutes of cooking to become tender. It even surpasses vinegar in its ability to lower glucose, which is why I will soon talk about more millet uses in future videos. Several pregnant women have asked me if they can consume it. Absolutely. It helps maintain stable metabolism, reduces the risk of high blood pressure, gestational diabetes, and elevated triglycerides, benefiting both mother and baby. Some also ask whether it has other names. In English you will find it as millet. The preparation is similar to any cereal. You can look for simple recipes. There are many options. One important fact is that it also helps with fatty liver, especially when fat has been stored due to excessive added sugar intake. Our liver can only tolerate about 25 grams of sugar per day. But with 2 glasses of milk and some granola, you can easily exceed that amount. When this happens, the liver begins storing fat and the pancreas becomes overloaded, generating insulin resistance. We do not always inherit diabetes. Many times we unknowingly build it. Regarding frequency, you can eat millet every day, around 3/4 of a cup cooked. It is not a medication. It is simply nutritious food. Even those with cancer can consume it without problem. When I recommend telling your endocrinologist, it is because your glucose may drop and medication adjustments might be needed. Everything we recommend here is based on scientific evidence. Sometimes people ask whether it is the same as Macillo. It is not. Millet is a different cereal. They also ask whether it can be used in cases of osteoarthritis, diverticulosis, or thyroid problems. In all these cases, it can be consumed without problem. Milk, whether from cows or goats, contains natural sugar, and some store-bought versions may contain even more added sugar, something to consider if you are trying to control glucose. One of the most common questions is where to buy it. Many people find it in stores that sell bird food, next to canary seed. It is also available on platforms like Amazon. Some people want to combine millet with smoothies after exercise. You can try it without any issue. It has also been a discovery for me, and the more I research, the more convinced I am that it competes directly with vinegar in terms of benefits. For those with kidney insufficiency or fatty liver, it is also safe. Just remember to cook 3/4 of a cup to get a good serving. If you are looking for a replacement for rice, this is an excellent option. Soy milk will only contain sugar if it has been added. Natural soy milk does not contain excessive sugar. A very useful recommendation is to pair it with legumes. When you combine a cereal like millet with beans, lentils, or chickpeas, you get a complete plant protein. You can add cilantro, cumin, red pepper, cinnamon, or turmeric depending on the flavor you prefer. You can also pair it with a salad or a simple dish. It is a very versatile food. Some patients ask whether they can eat it if they have polycystic ovary syndrome, no gallbladder, or during pregnancy. In all those cases, it can be consumed. Remember, we are talking about a natural food. Before ending this part of the video, I want to touch on something important. Our health is influenced by what we think. There are days when our thoughts fill with worry, anxiety, or fear. And many times we harm ourselves with negative ideas we repeat without noticing. Your mind and body work together. And emotional peace also helps regulate metabolic health. For many years, I have seen how people suffer due to their own thoughts. And I tell you this as a doctor and as someone who has lived it. When the mind fills with negative ideas, the body feels it. Just as uncontrolled high sugar can silently damage the body, repetitive anxious thoughts can hurt the soul and increase stress, which in turn raises glucose and worsens diabetes. It is a cycle that seems endless. I remember that during a difficult season, Sundays became heavy for no apparent reason. It was as if my mind was used to worrying. Until one day I understood something that changed everything. I came across a verse that said, "My thoughts are not your thoughts." And I paused. I thought, of course, mine are filled with worry, fear, assumptions. And many of those things had not even happened, yet they had already harmed me. A friend once told me, "Look, you do not need enemies. What you tell yourself is enough to make you sick." And he was right. Most of us speak to ourselves in a way we would never allow another person to speak to us. But we do it every day without noticing. One day I decided to stop. I closed my eyes and prayed. I said to God, "If you give faith, and faith brings peace, then give me your thoughts." And something beautiful happened. Little by little a calmness began to appear that I once believed did not exist. Because true peace does not come from oneself. It comes from something greater. Many people who visit me at the clinic arrive with symptoms that seem unexplained. Anxiety, tight stomach, irritability, tiredness. And when we talk, we discover that behind all of it there is a mind full of worries that never stops. Just as I have seen patients learn to control their sugar with small consistent changes, I have also seen how finding peace starts by recognizing which thoughts are staying inside. I want you to try something. When you are on the bus or at home, or when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, what am I thinking? And check whether those thoughts are helping or harming you. If they are not helping, do not accept them. Ask God to give you faith and peace. I do it every day. And I have accompanied patients who were trapped in worries, and by learning to place their thoughts in God's hands, they stabilized their mood and, surprisingly, improved their glucose levels because their bodies stopped living in constant alert. If today you feel you are carrying more than you can handle, I want to invite you to close your eyes for a moment and pray with me. Heavenly Father, many of us struggle with thoughts that harm us, worry us, and affect even our bodies. Give us clarity to identify them and strength to stop them. Fill our minds with faith and our hearts with peace. Allow us to trust that you care for us and accompany us. Thank you for your love and for what you do in our lives. Amen. Before saying goodbye, I want to remind you of something very important. If this content helps and accompanies you, I invite you to subscribe, share this video with someone who needs it, and activate the notification bell. On this channel, we upload new content every day to care for you and your well-being. Thank you for allowing me to accompany you. And thank God for giving us one more day of life and the opportunity to learn how to improve our health, our mind, and our spirit. Here at Wellness at My Age, it fills our hearts to know we are contributing to your health and your lifestyle habits. Tomorrow we will have a new video that I am sure will help you a lot. I hope you join us, because here you will always find practical and accessible tools to live with more peace and better health. See you tomorrow with a topic that will surprise you.